Emotional safety.
Where do you feel free?
Without fear of judgment from onlookers.
I remember feeling extremely lost here in Joburg. The condition of being lost is something that is very possible and achievable anywhere, whether you're home or far from home. But I was feeling very lost in 2014 when I finally went to the station. It was so frightening to me because it felt like I had never been allowed the space to be myself completely. And here I was with these people and this music and all of the stimulation that came visually and the smells, and it was like, what?
Siphengulula izibhalo zobuboni ngemibuzo ethi iziphendule njalo sakuvula amehlo siqwalasele kudule izizathu zale mpixano isenyelisayo siyimbadu nengwevu nengqothovu zasemakhaya ezona zinxiba mxhaka izisele zenyathi zemidaka ngomculo sinyashe olushishino lungempilo yabahlali besenziwa izixhobo umayelenqe obunganga bukarhulumente lo mzabalazo awuquke dlame nangona ubuciko buzizigalo ngale gwatyu sikhulula uvalo kungekasiki nditsho nenimba le kusizalo sikaphalo kule mfazwe yokuzikhulula kwabantwana beAfrika kuqoqosho lonyamyelo atsha amadama namanzi qhawuka amakhamandela.
If it's ever possible to ever attain that freedom, it would mean that I get out of my comfort zone, I get out of the mediocre state, and I become, which is what I think every other human being wants and desires, to just become, to be free, to be whatever you want to be, you know. But the world obviously has laws, has status quos that people cannot bypass, and well, some people use incentives to get to the state, you know. They use drugs, they use alcohol to reach that state of which I believe children always live in. Children do not care, they do what they want to do, and they are forever free and happy. All my characters are restricted in terms of finding a place that is secure for all of them to flourish and exist.
would make you feel the most comfortable? Urani matumbo,
Where do you feel free?
Wherever there's jazz and there's art, and I don't know if it's okay if I use this term, but hippies. If there's hippies around, we tree hug and we just become ourselves, and it doesn't matter how you look like, what color your skin is, what kind of art you do, whether you're whack or not. We just become and we allow each other. So wherever there's art, there's freedom.
The station.
The station.
The station.
It's love, sekaya. I don't know what other word I can use to define other than home. Like, home is where you feel the most comfortable, where you feel loved, where you feel warm, where when you've had a rough day, you can come and debrief and talk about your day and share a drink with a friend and pack it, and so yeah.
Things that happen there, the conversations I've had, is that I've always been afraid to speak about. You find yourself in a situation where normally it would be confrontational, but the space is so calm and calming in itself. It allows you to express your views without being threatening or feeling threatened.
Everybody in the deep end, I've never really shown my work before, and I thought this was the perfect place to start as a platform. It's a nice intimate space, and I'm familiar with all the people here, so I thought it would be really fantastic to just, give it a go, and it was quite successful. So it's definitely the people. Everyone's quite comfortable. It's a warm space. People feel free and okay to be themselves. So nobody feels like an outcast or anything. And yeah, you get to express yourself no matter what form of art you do. You can do it here. You can paint, poets, photography. So yeah, it's awesome.
There are people my age who have never had the pleasure of financial security. Like, you've worked, you know where your salary is coming from this month, so you can actually plan a holiday. There are people who've never been in those formal situations. Theirs has always been a life of insecurity. They're not even artists, they're just people, That's not a society you want to build. Freedom is not about that. Freedom is about a country whose self-esteem is punctuated by the creative output of its young. The young people feel excited and interested enough to try and find and do what they can do. Music does that.
I feel free when I'm with people who are like-minded. I feel free with people who are open-minded. And I feel free with people who are free to be themselves around me. To begin with, freedom is a fleeting emotion. It's forever in motion, it's forever moving away. So sometimes you find the emotion in a place, but it escapes you, and you go back and you don't find the same freedom. So how often it happens? Once in a while. But it's really hard to experience the feeling over and over again in the same places, unless obviously you take some external things to get you there. The darkness is so familiar and common that it doesn't feel unusual anymore, because half the time we are not free. Some people die without even knowing what freedom means. It's a comfort zone. It's a place of mediocre. It's a place that does not inspire growth. It is a place that makes you feel like this is enough, what I'm doing is enough. And it doesn't inspire you to do things outside of the norm. of which I feel that the opposite, freedom, is able to give you that. Freedom allows you to explore yourself outside of yourself. But the darkness convinces you that this is it, this is who you are, and this is all you can ever be.
I am a language practitioner, a teacher, a friend, a mother, a sister. I teach languages at the Freedom Station, generally isiZulu, more specifically, I guess. I also do teach English as well. So that's what I do. This place has something about it. It's like being at home. It's like not leaving your house. It's like being able to have a place where you know people and people know you. A place where my students can also interact with the people in the space. And so, it's Sekaya. I love it here. I love to be here. I feel at home here. I feel comfortable and at ease. It's not like leaving work and going to the office. It's like leaving home and going home to do love, to work. My work is what I love to do. So this is why I do it here. It was the most, I guess, in terms of the area, it's convenient because I live in West Dean and the place is down the road from where I stay. And so all those things came into effect. The fact that it's convenient, the fact that it's comfortable, people love it. You get to teach and there's beautiful jazz playing in the background, or people laughing in the background about something, people discussing politics, people discussing life, people discussing what it's like to be black in South Africa today. So what other place would you have me work at than this place that I call home, So that's why I do it here. I could say that some of the things that I have the biggest issue with is the male domination thing, like males come in here and try to run the show, tell you how you should speak to them, how they should, how you should be impressed that they are trying to talk to you and that kind of thing. I don't work like that. It's not me.
As a black woman, freedom is a hard thing to attain. And not only as a black woman, but as a black woman who walks the streets of Johannesburg. You always trying to turn yourself into a wallflower or camouflage. So half the time we're insecure, our gut is up. So as a black woman, I haven't experienced freedom fully. And I don't think perhaps I'd ever get to that state and the conditions that human beings live in.
Find yourself discussing issues about systematic patriarchy and how it is everywhere. It is in our culture, it is in our religion, it is in our schools, it is in our workplaces, it is in society. And men and women discuss how they play a role in its being perpetuated and how we each could play a role in its end. And it's exciting to me because the mere fact that you can discuss it means that somewhere out there, out of all these people who are creative and able, someone is making it happen. And somehow in the conversation, I have made it happen. And perhaps that conversation is what sparks you taking that action to make something happen.
I've been hearing from people who come here that this place is generally full of people who are opinionated.
Not necessarily. We're all open to our own opinions and everything, but we rather listen to each other and engage. So instead of opinionated, some of them are, but we kind of learn from it, so it's not all that bad.
Okay, it's not all that bad. What is it when it gets that bad? How does it feel when it gets that bad?
We're all grown people here, nobody shouts, nobody swears, nothing gets out of hand. It's a really great space for people to engage. And yeah, there's no funny vibes. Everybody's got this really great energy about them. So when it does get to that, everybody takes a deep breath and we start all over again, just to take it easy, I guess.
I think politics will always enter into spaces where there's thick human relationships that are so exposed to each other. I usually just hightail it out of here for a few weeks or a couple of days, maybe an hour. But you always end up coming back.
In circles and spinning around the sun, hanging around for centuries with no purpose aside from tragedy and a few rare glimpses of false fun. This is a prison in the shape of a sphere, designed in such a way that none of us can ever run. So he realizes that his only escape is through his breath. Thus, my last question to you is, have you ever seen a man die in the hopes to escape his host? Cause his sex is a hoax. He desires to be held in the hands of a man, but society detests his urges as a defiance of God's plan, an abomination, a twisted perversion that can simply be healed by a preacher's hand. Have you ever seen a guy dance? Guided by the sky's hands, grenades explode with the slightest of his movements. Have you ever seen a man cry? His eyes leaking from having seen too many holes in his history. Have you ever seen him tackle his misery, shackle his own feet and strangle himself for dreaming of liberty? Have you ever seen a man die? Dancing man moves in the night, and you man emerge. Dancing man moves in the night, and you man emerge. Dancing man moves in the night, and you man emerge. Dancing man moves in the night.
The station is more than just... It's like home. As much as I love my home where I come from, even home is more than just a place. It's literally where healing happens. It's where life begins. It's where it's sustained. Yeah, it's home, but far from home, which makes it extra special. Yeah.
The African Freedom Station is primarily an art gallery that exhibits all forms of creativity. So not just painting, not just high-level, high-end art that no one is able to access, or the majority of people walking past. So the station is a very free and open space created to showcase creativity, to feed it. You can come here to watch live music in a very intimate setting. It's also just a place to have conversations. It's a place to, come have some food and a good chat and get some inspiration. If you, can come see some good pictures, see some people painting. I'm one of them. I would say The station is an interactive station. Station is a station. The station is a train station, man. The station is an artistic place of stopping in and moving past. You can't escape it once you come here. It's almost as if all journeys begin and end with the station. At least if it's only for you to stash your backpack while you try and find somewhere to sleep when you're coming into Johannesburg for the night. That's what the station is, man. It's home.
Media is beautiful, we can see things on the net, we can check out things on the radio, but a physical space is sacred in another way. That we physically, what have we done in this town of our ancestors to mark our present? I often describe the Freedom Station as a shrine to the unknown creative ancestors of the city who languished unknown here. You know, when you drive from on the M1 driving to Pretoria, you will see, man, the Muslims, their spires go up, the churches are going up, the cathedrals of consumption are going up. There's not a single visual, physical fact that says you are in an African city where Africans have been here longer before, and that these people have their own way of feeling, thinking, and seeking, and they are actually responsible for this music. So maybe the people with means, maybe the architects of the future and the institution builders of the future will get to a point where they are able to put their money on what they truly believe.